What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. We are just a few weeks away from the second season of House of the Dragon, and I couldn't be more excited. In today's video, we are going to be talking a little bit about the essential characters that are returning for Season 2. I will give you my thoughts on the character and what percentage I think that they have a chance of actually surviving the season. Now, I just want to preface this video by saying I have not read past the events of Season 1 in the book. So I am going into this completely blind, and these are just my predictions. Don't forget to smash that like, subscribe if you're new. I'll be dropping House of the Dragon content from now until the end of Season 2. Alright guys, we're going to start it off here with a 99% chance of surviving. I actually have two. First off, we have Rhaenyra Targaryen. I don't think the show survives without her. Honestly, she's pretty much the main character, and there's no chance that they're killing her off in season number 2, because we know that HBO wants this series to run 4 seasons. She's probably my second favorite character in the show, so I cannot see that they would do anything to harm her. Next up, also at a 99% chance of survival, is going to be Alicent Hightower. Again, I think Rhaenyra and Alicent basically are the show, with everyone else who surrounds them basically doing what they want. There's no chance that they're going to kill off what I consider almost the big bad, although I'm conflicted on Alicent's character, which I think the show did a wonderful job in season 1, because I feel like they want you to think as Rhaenyra as the good guy, Alicent as the bad guy. But I think they did a nice job trying to kind of split the audience here. Alicent is a confused character in my opinion. I think she was really young when she was pretty much forced to marry Viserys by her father Otto, and I think after that she just is a confused character who is strong but very manipulable, and having Aegon as a son I think really did her in, because Aegon in season 1 we see that he's just immature, and because she is all about family and loyalty, she does want him to rule the 7 kingdoms. And we do see Aegon take a small little turn toward the end of season 1 where he does kind of embrace this. But I think we're going to see him return to that immaturity when he actually sees what he actually has to do as the leader. All right, guys, we're on to the next character, and I'm bringing this person in at a 90% chance of survival. And the only reason why is I think that it's even this low is because of one of the little scenes we see in the trailer. I'm going with Daemon Targaryen. So Daemon is my favorite character in the show by far. Matt Smith is absolutely fantastic. I am praying and hoping that he makes it all the way to the finale of the series. But there's that small chance, you never know. We never thought that Ned Stark was going to get killed off. I don't think most people saw that Robb Stark was going to be killed off. So we know that Game of Thrones and George R.R. Martin likes to do this to characters that we love. I hope he does not fall into this category. But I have to sit him at a 90% chance of survival, just because we know in the trailer there was some dispute between him and Rhaenyra, and we know Rhaenyra is very cutthroat. So coming in at 90% is Daemon. Coming up next on my list with a 88% chance of survival is Jacaerys Targaryen. At the end of season 1, we saw that he flew off to Winterfell to seek the aid of the Starks. And I am very, very excited to head back to the north and see Winterfell again and meet Cregan Stark, who I have heard of from my co-host and how he plays an integral role moving forward. The next two characters I have at an 85% chance of survival. First up is Aemond Targaryen, who is, to me, maybe next to Alicent, is the big bad of the show. Of course, this is her son. I feel that even though season 1 was, I don't want to call it rushed, but we really only see Aemond in like 4 or 5 episodes. But I feel like his character development was so well done in that short amount of time that there's no chance that they're probably going to kill him off. But again, it is Game of Thrones, and you kind of have to be on your toes and think of all the different types of outcomes. Again, another character I think that people really, really love to watch on screen. And we know that sometimes those characters just don't make it. But I believe that he has a pretty good chance of making it through the second season. Also coming in at 85% is Criston Cole. Now, in season 1, Criston Cole had a very odd storyline. He was all Team Rhaenyra, and then all of a sudden he just switches on over because Rhaenyra doesn't want to have a relationship with him, and we see her go to Harlan Strong. Now, here's the thing. I wish we could have seen why. There's a huge gap there between episode 5 and episode 6, and we don't really ever get to see exactly why Rhaenyra decided to not pursue that relationship. It could have been because he was a knight and all of that. Would have been nice to see a conversation. And next time we see him, it's like you could tell that they have no relationship anymore. So that's the one bad thing about season 1 that I really wish they would have explained a little bit better. Coming in next with a 75% chance of survival. Now, a lot of you guys out there may disagree with me on this one, and I am basing this solely on the actor because he might be the best actor in the show, and his character is meant to be hated, and I think they did a great job. I am talking about Otto Hightower. I don't think they're going to do anything with him. He is in a very important role as being the little birdie on top of Alicent's shoulder. He basically is running things, and the way he manipulates his daughter is pretty impressive because Alicent is a good character. She's a strong character. But again, it just goes back to her being able to be manipulated so easily, and her love for her children, kind of like Cersei in a way, may end up being her downfall. Next up is Helaena Targaryen, and I give her a 66% chance of survival. Now, this character is very interesting for me because she spits out these one-liners, and it's very confusing. And apparently we're supposed to find out in season 2 what some of this all means. Now, how do you make Alicent a more threatful villain? Someone who will go to all ends to defeat you. You kill off one of her kids. And I think we're going to see that with Rhaenyra because of what happened at the end of season 1. So I think that Helaena has a decent chance of being killed off somewhat earlier in this season, and that is what's really going to move Alicent's character forward. Now, again, it's only a 66% chance of survival. So I think if Helaena is around after episode 3, I think she'll make it to the end of the season. And I kind of think that's where we're going with this. So kind of stay tuned and we'll see what that looks like after episode number 3, because I really think that this character could be one that dies early, and if she doesn't, she makes it to the end. Up next, with a 60% chance of survival, is Larys Strong. He is the last Strong alive because in season 1, if you remember, he killed his brother and father. Larys is a very interesting character. We didn't see a whole lot of him in the beginning of the season, but he is quite the presence in the second half of the season. I think of him as a Littlefinger type character that is in the back of Alicent's mind. And I think this is one of the biggest problems with Alicent is that she has Otto on one side of her, and then she has Larys on the other, and she feeds into Larys's foot fetish to get the information she needs and to have him do her bidding. So I give him a 60% chance. We will see what happens. I could see where we have some type of conflict with him and Otto, and I don't know if he will survive what Otto has coming for him, because I do think those two will butt heads eventually. Coming up next with a 55% chance of survival, so almost 50-50, is Rhaenys Targaryen. Rhaenys is a great character, but I don't know if the show has used her enough. I know going into season 2, one of the things I had mentioned way back when I did my recap of season 1 is I really wish that they would use her character more. I love the dynamic between Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, especially when Rhaenyra was younger. And I think that Rhaenys can definitely help the team, but she seems to be a little wishy-washy, and she always seems to just kind of do what Corlys says. So I don't know how it's going to play out with this character, but I think that Rhaenys could be on the chopping block for season 2. Next up, we have Corlys Velaryon. I am giving Corlys a 35% chance of survival. Now, I think that Corlys probably should have died at the end of season 1. We don't even see his character for almost 4 straight episodes. But he is the one who comes back, changes the mind of Rhaenys to join Rhaenyra and her cause. So he does play a pretty important role toward the end of season 1. Also, I think that Rhaenyra is going to need his fleet in season 2. But I can definitely see that he could possibly die in some point in this season. Finally, the character with the lowest chance of survival is going to be Aegon Targaryen. I am giving him a 15% of survival. And again, kind of like what I mentioned back with Aemond and Helaena, is I think that one of Alicent's kids are definitely going to die, and I could see 2 of them. Because I think that with Viserys still being young, and I don't know where they're going to be with her son in season 2, it's almost like we have a backup. And I think that Aegon is going to be very conflicted this season. I think he was kind of all gung-ho at the end when he became king. But like I mentioned earlier, I think he's going to really struggle with it. And I think that Aegon has the best chance of dying in season 2. All right, guys. Well, let me know what you think down in the comments. Who do you think is going to definitely die in season 2? No spoilers, please, in case people watching the video have not read the book. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.